Hey, what's going on, y'all? This your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the Pristine review for the Moto X4. You guys know the order of business with my reviews, so without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, I'd like to talk about the price and the specs. Now, there are different price points because there's different variants of this particular device. Or, well, maybe I shouldn't say different variants, different versions. Variants, you get my drift. So the full retail price for this device is $399. Now you can get that down at your local Best Buy. I know that there recently was a sale where you can get it for $349.99. You can also get this device from Amazon.com, Newegg.com, and I believe there are some other sources, but those are the two main known sources, or the three main known sources that I know of for sure where you can get your hands on this device. Now, the device here before you is actually the Amazon variant of this of the Moto X4, and basically what Amazon does is they have these prime versions of a list of phones, and they sell them at a cheaper price. But they come with Amazon lock screen ads, and they also come with tons of Amazon bloatware, basically the whole Amazon suite, which is kind of similar to like the Google suite. Say like if you get a stock Android device, obviously the whole Google suite is going to be pre-installed on that particular device. And so you may have like a Google folder. When you tap on that, then you got all these Google apps. Well, the Amazon variants, prime variants of their unlocked cell phones is kind of similar. You know, they've got all the Google Suite apps, and then it also comes with a whole slew of Amazon apps as well. And then like when I unlock the device here, you'll see there's an Amazon ad that pops up right there along with my notifications. And then when you want to unlock the screen again to get into your home screen, then you just hit the fingerprint sensor again, and then it lets you into your home screen. Now, that's not really that big of a deal to me. You know, some people really find that it's an annoyance, but it can be disabled. And so if you have ordered any Amazon Prime variant and you want to rid yourself of those lock screen ads, there is a way to do it. It's called Google. And just type in, how do I get rid of the lock screen ads for my Amazon version of whatever the phone is, and it'll give you all the bits and pieces of information that you need to do it. All right, now this version, which is the Prime version, is $279.99. So I think with taxes altogether, I paid like $307.82, which isn't bad. You know, I definitely much would pay $307.82 than $399 plus taxes, which I live in Seattle, Washington. You know, my taxes are 9.5%. So for me, I mean, that would be like closer to $440, $450 or something, including taxes and everything. So, you know, you guys may want to check into that. You know, just get on Amazon and type in, under the search bar, list of Prime exclusive unlocked devices, and it'll give you a whole list of all the Prime exclusive cell phones that are available for purchase. All right. Now, as far as the specs that this thing is housing, we've got a 5.2 inch full HD 1080p 1920 pixel display. All right, we've got 3 gigs of RAM on board, 32 gigs of onboard storage, which we do have an SD card slot. That memory can be expanded up to 256 gigs. I do have my Samsung 128 gig SD card slapped in this bad boy right now. So you do have expandable memory, which is a very, very welcomed feature. We've got an IP68 water and dust resistance. We have Alexa on board, which you can use as an alternative if you don't want to use Google Assistant. We've got a dual camera system. We've got an 8 megapixel, or actually no, correct me, excuse me. Whoa. Let me slow my roll. We've got a 16 megapixel selfie camera. All right, now when you swing it around to the back, we've got a 12 megapixel primary sensor, and then we've got another 8 megapixel wide angle sensor that has a 120 degree field of view. So that's pretty nice. We do have NFC on board, Bluetooth 5.0 with an update, so to say. So I haven't received the update yet to Oreo. I believe that this is going to be receiving an update Oreo sometime in the very near future. I just don't know exactly when that is. So right now it's rocking Bluetooth 4.2, but I guess when it gets the Oreo update, then it'll be bumped up to Bluetooth 5.0. Type-C connectivity. We've got a 3,000 milliamp hour non-removable battery. All right, this is the sterling blue color scheme. You can get this in sterling blue, which is what this is. You can get it in super black, and those are the only two color options that you've got. And this is fully unlocked. I mean, so it's both GSM and CDMA unlocked. I mean, so you can take this phone with any carrier that you want to. All right, so those are the specs. So with all those things that I just named off, I mean, $399 isn't a bad price for this particular device. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's got the new Snapdragon 630 processor in it. All right, and there is another variant as well. There is a variant that has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage, but that's the international version. So the US version comes with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage. All right, now the build quality. Now, this thing is built with glass, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 to be exact, and front and back. And it is a thing of beauty. As you can tell, it is a fingerprint magnet, but you will definitely turn heads every time I go out with this device. When I typically don't hold phones to my ear. To me, I think that that's very prehistoric. I think that's the Flintstone era, if you will. I always have Bluetooth devices, so I rarely ever talk with my phone in my face. But this past weekend, I was out with some friends, watching the games, and I'd have my phone sitting on the table, and just about everybody that saw it was just in shock and awe. They saw the color and they saw how reflective it is. They'd never seen or heard of it before, and there was a lot of explaining that I had to do, which I don't mind. But yeah, this phone is definitely a head turner. But yeah, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and back. Very beautifully crafted device. It feels really good in the hand. Again, it's a 5.2-inch display. Now, you do see that we've got, the big chin and the big forehead. It doesn't have that 18:9 aspect ratio. This is still rocking the 16:9 aspect ratio. And, that's okay. I kind of struggle with it a little bit just because I've gotten so accustomed to 18:9 aspect ratios, going back and forth between this and my Honor 7X, which, that Honor 7X is a beast, man. It's a beast of a budget device. Now, this is a mid-range device. And so I think that overall, if you were to compare this with the Honor 7X, I mean, this is definitely going to be the better choice. But there are certain things about the Honor 7X that has this phone beat, in my personal opinion, and definitely, just the cosmetics, of the device. Considering that 18:9 is seemingly the direction in which everybody is leaning towards. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before you see every OEM putting out phones with the 18:9 aspect ratio. But you're starting to see a lot of phones that don't. They're making devices that are coming out here in 2018 with with the new aspect ratio. But that's not really a big deal. I mean, hey, that's just a personal preference, a matter of opinion. This phone is a great device nonetheless, in spite of the fact that it's still rocking the 16:9 aspect ratio. So the build quality, is very, very solid. As I mentioned, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and back. We've got a full metal or aluminum chassis along the sides, or on the bottom, top. I like how discreet the antenna line is, right here at the top. And then you've got two little discrete antenna lines here at the bottom. We do have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack there that sits right next to the Type-C port. So all of you that do like to plug in using a wire, you still have that capability. Although I think that is a feature that will definitely be phased out very, very soon. So I'm just warning you guys. I know a lot of you guys that like to connect wirelessly don't like, or that like to connect with a wire don't like to hear that, but I'm just keeping it real, man. I don't make this stuff up. I mean, I'm not, the manufacturers who make these devices and make these decisions. I'm just simply, stating the obvious. I mean, expect to see a lot more devices that are going to be coming out without headphone jacks, and they're going to come with the little dongles, in the box, which again, it sucks that you're going to have to carry around another accessory, but it is what it is, man. So moving forward, now the performance. As I mentioned, we've got a Snapdragon 630 processor. Okay, this is the newer processor out of the Snapdragon 620 line. We've got the Snapdragon 625 and the 626, which those are all tried and true processors, very battery efficient processors as well. The 630 processor here is no different. In fact, it's even more battery efficient and just more efficient overall, which is why this phone with a 3000 milliamp hour battery, which is a decent sized battery, but we're, seeing batteries at, up into 3500 milliamps, 4000 milliamps, 4500 milliamps. Some phones have 5000 milliamp hour batteries. That is just ridiculous, and you can use those devices to charge other devices. 3000 milliamps is decent, but given the fact that you've got a 3000 milliamp hour battery here, coupled with that Snapdragon 630 processor, you're really going to get some really good battery life. The battery here definitely has a lot of staying power with heavy use. I mean, you're not going to kill this phone quickly, and so that is definitely nice to see. But the performance has been nothing short of stellar. Again, Snapdragon 630 processor, 3 gigs of RAM. It performs like a beast, like a champion, nice and smooth as it ought to. Now, somebody was asking me yesterday, they hit me up and they were asking me if they had been hearing reports of there being a lot of lag on this device, and I haven't run into any lag at all whatsoever. I haven't run into any stutters whatsoever. Everything has been buttery smooth with this particular device. All right, and as you can see, as I'm scrolling through apps, it's just a breeze. It's not a problem whatsoever. RAM management, see that I got a few apps open. Phone does really well when you've got multiple apps running in the background or apps that are open. Has excellent RAM management. I haven't been able to get this phone to slow down or stutter, not once. And so, different people have different experiences with different phones, so maybe there is some individuals out there that has this device that has, experienced some lag or some stutters from time to time. But me, in my personal experience, my real world testing and usage of this device, I have had 0, which is good, which is very good. So performance is awesome on this device. Now, the cameras, as I mentioned, we've got a 16 megapixel front facing camera, and then on the rear of the device, here is the dual camera system. One of those cameras is a 12 megapixel sensor, and the other one is a 8 megapixel sensor that is for wide angle viewing. Now, the cameras are amazing on this device. In 2017, 2018, I mean, it's pretty complicated to find any phone that doesn't have at least a decent camera. This is a really good camera system here. Now, there's a separate video where the film, the photography, and video are displayed, and that's called the Moto X4 / the camera. That video is uploaded, and so if you want some details on this camera, if you want to see still shot images and video footage that was captured with this camera, then go and check out that video and let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. But I have to say just right here, right now, that this camera is definitely a really good camera, definitely one of the best in the mid-range department, which is what the category in which this device falls under. Very good camera system here. I don't see anybody being disappointed with it at all. You've got all the bells and whistles, all the camera features, functions, depth effect, to be able to capture bokeh effect with both the front and the rear cameras. So, I mean, expect to take some stellar shots with this thing, both the front camera and the rear camera. But yeah, check out the video, Moto X4 / the camera. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right. Now, battery life, as I touched on that a little bit ago. The battery life is solid. Again, we've got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. Very, very efficient. I can very easily get through a full day. Matter of fact, as you can see right now, my battery is it's 4:53 in the morning. And yeah, I be up in the wee hours of the night in the morning, just doing these videos, editing, up online, just researching for different devices that I want to feature here on the channel. There's a lot of work that goes into this, y'all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of work. And plus everybody's asleep. My wife is asleep. The kids are asleep. So I know a lot of times in my videos, you guys hear the kids in the background. They be making noise. And I can't just go to them and say, hey, London, Sanaya, quiet down now. Daddy's making a video. They don't care about that. They're toddlers. One is 3. The other one is 1. They don't care. They make noise. Now my son, he's 14. He gets it. But my babies, they don't get it. So, it's 4:54 in the a.m. Everybody's asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, man, let me get this video popping, man, so I won't have no background noise. So yeah, man, it's a grind. The early bird definitely gets the worm. But as you can see, the battery life here. Let's see, where am I at? All right, so I'm at 36%. All right. Now, it's Wednesday morning, and I took this off of the charger at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. You catch my drift? So I took it off the charger yesterday at 6 a.m. Here it is, 4:55 a.m. the next day, and I've still got 38%. So, and I had a full work day yesterday. I worked 12-hour shifts, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., texting, talking all day, responding to a lot of my subscribers and viewers of my videos that hit me in the comments with questions. There you go right there. That's good battery life, in my personal opinion. I don't have to throw this thing on the charger, right now. It's still early in the day. Don't have a lot of stuff that I have to do. Unless I decide to pick it up and just use it to browse the web or something like that. But I got other devices that I can do that with. I got tablets, I got a computer. So battery life, in my personal opinion, battery life is solid. All right, you can't go wrong with it. And it does have fast charging. I believe Moto, they refer to it as turbo charging, and it charges very fast. So in about a half hour, if you are on 0%, you are definitely going to be at about 50 or 55% in a half hour. Definitely going to get a full charge under an hour, or right around an hour. So it's good to have that technology present. All right, now moving along to additional features. This phone, Motorola, they really did a good job with instilling some really useful features into this particular device. Now, it's more of a stock Android device. There's not a lot of, bloatware on it. Like I said, this is the Amazon variant. So of course you've got the whole Amazon suite of apps. But if you're to buy this phone like at your local Best Buy, or something like that, the unlocked version, well, let me correct myself. That's really the only version that you can get. This is not being sold in carriers. You'll see once you get everything powered on, before you install any of your apps, it's going to come with the full Google suite. It's a stock Android experience. It's running Android 7.1 Nougat, fresh out of the box. As I mentioned, an Oreo update is supposed to be coming. I just don't know exactly when. Hopefully sooner than later, to take advantage of Oreo and all of its new features and functions that it has. Yeah, this is a stock Android device. Some of the features that I like. Some of the features that I like the fact that we have a fingerprint sensor. Now, I prefer for the fingerprint sensor to be on the back, like, where that little Moto sign is right there. That could have been the fingerprint sensor. And I actually believe that for the newer Moto devices that are coming out later this year, that's where the fingerprint sensor is going to be, because Moto is converting over to the new 18:9 aspect ratio. So you're going to expect to see the Moto Zs, the Moto Z3, the Moto Z3 Play, the Moto X5. Those are all going to have the slim bezel 18:9 aspect ratios, and I believe that the fingerprint sensor is going to be on the back right here where this little Motorola emblem is right there. But on the X4, the fingerprint sensor is on the front, and one of the features that I love about it is, for one, that it's present. For two, you can also use it to lock the device. And so obviously you'll see really quickly when I tap it, it opens the device very fast. Again, this is the Amazon variant, and so you got to tap it once to get to the lock screen. You'll see that ad, and then to get to the home screen, you tap it again. All right. It's very quick, very responsive. But here's another thing that I love about the fingerprint sensor. When you touch it again, you can touch it to lock the phone again. Okay, so touch it twice to unlock, touch it once to lock the device. I like that I really like that feature. Now we've got a little proximity sensor that's right there to the left. I think you guys can see that little dot right there. And so you wave your hand, or you come within the phone's the sensor's field of view, and then it shows you the time. If there's any notifications that you have, then the notifications will also pop up underneath the time. And if you don't want to unlock the device to see those notifications, then you can just long press. Oh, now it doesn't want to work for me. There we go. You can just simply long press on it, and it will give you it'll show you like a brief snippet of the notification, and then you can completely open it from there, or you can just, peep the little bit of information that it showed you and just keep it moving. So I definitely like that feature. This is a 5.2-inch display, but obviously, the phone is just not the display itself. I mean, there's a body, and so, the overall design of the device, to some people may feel as though, it's cumbersome or that it's big. And so you do have the ability to switch to a one-handed mode, which you just swipe down, to either corner. Okay, so if you swipe to the left corner, you can get it on the left side. Or if you swipe from the middle of the device down to the right corner, you can get it on the right side. And this is typically how I like to rock it. Although I'm a lefty, it's like I navigate and hold on my phones with my right hand. So I'm very ambidextrous. But this just makes for even easier one-handed navigation with your device. Okay, and just to extend the screen again, you just hit anywhere in the black, and it just brings the phone right back to its normal 5.2-inch display. All right, so I like that feature. Another feature that I like is the twist to open up the camera viewfinder, and then you could also twist it again. What's up, y'all? To get into the selfie mode, there's that 16 megapixel shooter, and then it flips it back around to the camera viewfinder. That's a nice feature. All right, then if we have the phone off, or if you've got the screen on and you chop, turns on the flashlight, which is a very useful feature. And then when you want to turn off the flashlight, chop, and it turns it off. So, it's got some pretty nice features. Now, here's another feature that I really love about this device. So, I got this incorrect, and so I was under the impression that when I did the unboxing of this phone, I mentioned a little bit about the fact that it has the ability to connect through Bluetooth to 4 different speakers, Bluetooth speakers, and project sound out of all 4 of those speakers. The way that it was explained to me was that this was going to be a feature that this device was going to have once it got the Android Oreo update, once it was updated to Bluetooth 5.0. That is not true. That is a feature that Motorola has implemented in this device, and it's ready for use right now, fresh out of the box. You don't have to wait to get an Oreo update for the Bluetooth capabilities to be bumped up to 5.0 to take advantage of that. And so that is a really, really, really solid feature to have. I mean, so, if you've got however many Bluetooth speakers you have, but you can connect up to 4 of them at a time. But if you've got 4 Bluetooth speakers in your home and they're in different areas, and you want to just listen to music in all four of those areas. Say if you're moving around the house, if you're doing some cleaning in different areas, or you know, you're just moving around doing what you do in your everyday home life, and you want sound projected in all the areas in your house in which you're going to be, if you have Bluetooth speakers in those areas, you can connect up to 4 of those speakers all at the same time. And it's under this option here, wireless sound system. And then when you go into it, it's disabled right now, but I'll read it to you. Listen to audio on up to 4 Bluetooth devices individually, or bring them together for a stereo setup. You can only connect one Bluetooth speaker over Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz networks. Yeah, so that's another thing. So in order to be able to connect to 4 speakers at a time, you have to be connected to your 5 gigahertz network if you have that. If you're only rocking with the 2.4 gigahertz network, then you can only connect to 1 speaker for the best experience. Okay, so you got to be mindful of that. In order to connect to 4 Bluetooth speakers at a time, you have to be connected to a 5 gigahertz network in order to take advantage of that capability. I do like the fact that this allows you to connect to the 5 gigahertz network, and that's one of the things that I do not like about the Honor 7X, is it does not allow you to do that for whatever reason. I can only connect to my 2.4 gigahertz network, which is just a slower network. And I don't know why that is, but that's the reality of it. So that's another thing I like about this device, is it gives you the option to choose between either the 5 gigahertz network or the 2.4, which typically that's how most of my devices are. You know, you can either connect to either or of them, or either one of them. I stay on that 5. You know what I'm saying? I stay on that 5. Another thing that I really like about this device is when we, as far as the touch gestures and things of that nature, we go to the Moto app, and then we've got Moto Key, where you can access websites, apps, and devices with your fingerprint. You know, you can set it up to where you can unlock your computer with your fingerprint, you know, by syncing your device here wirelessly to your computer. We've got Moto Actions, Moto Display, and the Moto Actions is just basically what I just showed, just with the gestures to open up the camera, to turn on the flashlight. Then we get Moto Display, which, you know, get discrete notifications and night settings, so you can set, you know, things in night mode for a certain amount of time for the screen to dim and, you know, be a lot less strain on your eyes, things of that nature. And then you've got Moto Voice, which you're able to, you know, control your device through your, you know, with your voice, and it doesn't have to be unlocked. You know, you can just have your phone sitting on the table, and you can just say, "Hey Moto," just like you would say, "Okay Google" or Alexa or something like that. And see, it just heard me say it. I don't understand. Well, I wasn't saying anything. Okay, cancel. Oh, well, whatever. I have to cancel her out. But that's how sensitive it is. You say certain words and it'll open up. Well, Moto Key, Moto Voice is similar to that. All right, now Moto Display. Actually, let me find it. Where's it at? Here's the Moto Actions. Okay, so the Moto Actions, you've got quick screenshot, where you can just take 3 fingers, rub it down the screen. That's how you take a screenshot. Now, 1 button navigation. Now, I have it turned off right now, but I'll turn it on and I'll show you guys what that's about. So you see here how I've got, you know, my back, home, and recents button. Now, again, if you want to take, you know, full advantage and get rid of that black bar right there, then what you do is you hit 1 button navigation. And what that allows you to do is to take advantage, full advantage of the 5.2-inch display, and then you do all your navigating just with the fingerprint sensor. So say I'm in this application. If I want to go home, I swipe to the left. Or if I want to go back, now if I want to go to my home screen, I swipe to the left. And now I'm back at my home screen. All right, now if I want to go to my recents, swipe to the right. Okay. And you see I've got more apps open now, so you can kind of peep a little bit of that RAM management. And then, you know, if I just want to get out of this and just go back to my home screen, then I can just tap it. So, you know, if you don't want the on-screen capacitive buttons, you don't have to have that. that's a dope feature to have, because it does allow you to take take a little bit more advantage of the full 5.2-inch display. All right, so this phone, it's got some nice features. Now when you long press on the screen, I wish it gave you the ability to change the transitions and stuff like that. I don't really care too much that I'm being forced to only have the scroll feature in that particular orientation. I like to be able to choose different transitions, but it is what it is. It's fine. I mean, the phone is nice and fluid and snappy, so it doesn't matter. But that would have been a nice implementation. But as you can see, I mean, the phone definitely has a good amount of features and functions and gestures. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got right now for the Lenovo Moto X4. Let me know what you guys think about this device. My personal opinion about it, it's a really good device. It's a really good device. It's a good build. It's a good size. A lot of people, they're not into the 5.5 inches. They're not into the 5.7 or the 6-inch displays. It's a nice 5.2-inch display, nice and compact, beautiful construction, beautiful color scheme. This sterling blue, and then like I said, you can get it in black, which that also looks pretty slick as well. But I mean, just this particular color scheme had me from the jump when I first saw it. And so I had to get this particular color scheme. I think the only thing that I don't really care too much for with this device is like little stuff, like I like the ability, like with the battery, to be able to show the battery percentage. It doesn't allow you to do that for whatever reason. You can go to the battery and you can toggle certain things. There's power saving modes and things of that nature. That you can utilize to really extend the battery, but it doesn't give you the option to display the battery percentage there. So if I want to check and see exactly where my battery is, I have to scroll down and then look at it that way. And sometimes I may not want to do that. Sometimes I may just want to look up right here at the screen and just see what my battery percentage is and just go from there. Or another way to check it is to wave your hand across the screen. If I get it to come up, and 34%. So your battery percentage is displayed right there. So, that's not that big of a deal. But I mean, besides that, and the fact that the screen isn't an 18:9 aspect ratio, that's really, the only things about this device. And again, that's just a matter of preference. So it's not saying that there's anything wrong with the device. So this is a really good device. I can definitely recommend it to anybody. It's not going to break the bank. If you run a really good performing mid-range device with really solid construction, beautiful design and cosmetics, very nice camera functionality and performance, look no further than the Moto X4 here. This is a really, really good device. But I am looking forward to that X5, because the X5 is going to have, again, that 18:9 aspect ratio, and then obviously whatever else that they plan on updating here from the X4. But this is a good option. All right. Full retail price $399. I think the cheapest that I've seen it was $349.99, and then you can also go with the Amazon Prime version, which is what this is, and you can get it right now on Amazon for $279.99, which is definitely not a bad option. It's not a bad price point at all for this device. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you've got any questions or concerns, if there's anything that I left out that you want me to cover, let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video to keep yourself exposed to the slew of videos that I've already done, and keep it locked at Pristine Mobile Tech, because we've got much more content to come. All right, so you guys already know, definitely stay safe, get spiritually fit. Definitely want to do that, because we're definitely living in the last days. And keep it pristine in everything that you do. I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is the Moto X4. I'm your man Pristine. We out.